Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is the M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. It's located on the north spawn of Erlenberg, and this one is under the command of ProvoBob. And normally we see him in a game with bots, but this one doesn't have bots because it's a Tier 9 game with Tier 8 tanks in it. So he's got real people to deal with. Game on! Well, this Arty is based on the M47, the pattern. It's basically, they've taken an M47 tank, stripped off the turret, turned the thing around and put a big howitzer right on the rear of it. They actually did build this tank. In fact, they built the two versions. The M53, which had a 155mm gun, and that was used by the US Marine Corps, and the other one, which was the M55, which is what you're looking at here, and this one was used by the US Army. They did actually convert some of the 155mm M53s into M55s eventually as well. It did see service in Vietnam, and it actually is quite a decent Arty. You can actually get you can actually even pick up real versions of it, because there are some in scrapyards around the world. I think people are holding on to them because they're thinking they might appreciate in value. And certainly it's a very interesting Arty. If you ever watch a video by the Chieftain, which I will probably link in the video description, where he actually goes over an M53 and you get to see where everything is on the vehicle. Of course, they've stripped out most of the important stuff, but you get to actually see the vehicle for real, and the Chieftain goes over it. One of the vehicles which the Chieftain would have absolutely no trouble getting out of if it was on fire, because of course it's so big. It's huge. Even the driver is in the main compartment, where in the turret, where the rest of the crew are. Now, the 8-inch howitzer, which is 203mm in caliber, is capable of doing 900 alpha, and it will penetrate through 52mm of armor, and it's got a 10.5 m burst radius, so that's quite a big footprint. It also has a stun duration of between 12.5 and 28 seconds, and he's just scored a direct hit on a unit and wiped him out for 525 hit points. That must be a pen. He's penned the guy. You can see also that ProvoBob's actually using the standard HE. Now you get to carry 20 rounds of ammunition with the 8-inch howitzer. You get more with the 155, but they are smaller shells. And in actual fact, if you watch that video, you'll see that the racks for the 155mm in the back of the vehicle are still quite big, but the 8-inch shells were considerably bigger. And so yes, it's difficult to fit that many rounds in. They served between 1952 to 1960, and they were used by the US Army, the US Armed Forces I should say, Belgium, Turkey, Spain, West Germany, and the Republic of China, Taiwan. It does have a very good wide firing arc, mainly because the howitzer is in a turret, so the vehicle can stay absolutely still and just turn the turret, and that means that as it turns the turret within its arc, you're actually going to get a fairly rapid dial in on the target. It also has decent speed as well, 56.3 kilometers an hour. That's down to the fact that it is based on the pattern. And it's also got an accurate and fast reload. Well, the reload by the book is 40.27, and you can see that ProvoBob's got 33.22 there. Rounds out. Direct hit. 375 hit points. Bob likes this Arty. I think most Arty players do like the M53, M55. It holds a place in their heart alongside the M44 for being very, very accurate and very fun to play. You can also go fairly mobile in this thing if you want to. And it's also one of the few Artys in the game which actually has gun depression. Yeah, I mean, surprising. There are a few Artys that have it, it's got 5 degrees of gun depression, which means actually, although technically you shouldn't actually use it on a ridgeline to shoot at the enemy, but I have seen somebody do it. Yep, and it was on the Erlenberg map, but the old version of the Erlenberg map before HD, and somebody did use it in that fashion. They used the gun depression to take out an enemy heavy tank who came up over the other side of the castle, and he literally shot him in the face with a 203mm round at close range, and that must have been quite a surprise. This round went slightly to the left, so he only got 176 out of it, but what's important about this Arty is its ability to stun, and stun for a long time, and if you can stun it, you can certainly make it more difficult for him to get shots on your teammates, and also it increases their reload time, which makes it easier for them to get shots on the enemy. Well, that enemy Chrysler has been very badly damaged. He's only 3 hit points left, so he could be a splash kill if we can get the shell on him. We've got a was it a T-77 there? That guy just killed one of our guys, one of our tanks. Okay, we've got an A phase 1 on the corner. Difficult shot though, mainly down to the fact that the position we're in at the moment kind of blocks the shell. The buildings get in the way. Whilst over on this side of the map we've got a Kunstpanzer and a Progetto 46. And we don't have many teammates over this side of the map actually, and we're starting to lose them over the other side. In fact, we're 5 down on the enemy, so they're doing rather good. This is not so good in terms for us. Lining up a shot, but the enemy managed to get away. I think that was a Cobra. He fires the round, hits the building. He had an occluded reticule, which means sometimes that you're not going to get the shot on target if it's too close to a building. Okay, switch to the other side because now we've got a G-Saw. GSOR 1008. And he's very low hit points as well. He's only got 60 left. Now there's 2 tanks on that corner with low hit points. He's lining up the shot. And he's loaded. Rounds out. Oh my god, he just got a bombardier. He took out the Chrysler and the G-Saw with 1 shot. And he's earned himself a bombardier medal. So now he has 2/3 of the enemy tanks that have been killed in this game. I know it's looking very dreadful. There's 6 down on the enemy. Well, they've managed to scrape that one back. And I think now that ProvoBob is, well, he's loaded and he's getting ready to shoot that CS-52 list, the Fox. But instead he notices that an enemy tank is very, very close. And it seems that Borsig is spending more time behind the house and not actually engaging the enemy. And as a consequence, one of them's got very, very close. So he's had to turn his attention away from that Fox and get ready for arriving enemy tanks. I think it's the Progetto that's managed to get close. Yes, it is. Okay, can we get a shot? We've got 2 tanks together. Oh, unfortunately, there goes the Borsig. Oh, was it the Borsig or the... yes, it was the Borsig. And now they are incredibly close. And we're going to have to move because otherwise we're going to get shot at. He's managed to get the other side of that ridge and he's using the concealment to get away. Unfortunately, he's gone out of the fire, out of the frying pan into the fire. And 2 shots from the Progetto finishes him off. Well, our Jagdtiger just died to the Cobra. Or was it somebody else? No, it was ISU 152. And that's it, the game's over because everyone's dead. Well, this one didn't go quite as expected. Bob was doing quite well. He did get some damage on the enemy. He even got a bombardier. But sadly, I'm afraid, yes, his teammates died, and that left him very, very vulnerable indeed. He did get a bombardier medal for taking out 2 enemy tanks with 1 shot. He took out the Chrysler and the G-Saw. And he also got that direct hit on Nudes, and it literally just pulverized him. His win 8 from that battle, oh, by the way, he did get Bruiser medal as well for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 9. He got a win 8 of 1,776, which is very good, but sadly, it was a defeat. Let's have a look at team score. Well, the highest damage in that game actually went to the Progetto 46 on the enemy team, the guy who actually killed Bob. He got 3,533 hit points, but he didn't get a high caliber because it wasn't 20% of the enemy hit pool. The second highest damage went to the A phase 1 on the enemy. He did get a medal. He got a Spartan in that one for 2,534 hit points. And the third highest damage in the game turned out to be the Kunstpanzer, who got 2,358. When it came to Bob, he got 1,854, which puts him second in damage on his team, but there were a number of enemy tanks who actually managed to get ahead of him in the game. I'm counting 6 on the enemy team, 1 on his own, which puts him in 8th place. If we look at the number of kills, though, he actually was the highest scorer in the game. Yes, he got 3, whilst the enemy team has the joint second place with the Progetto, their M53, their T77, their Fox, and the ISU 152. All got 2 kills apiece. When it came to base XP, he's actually second on his own team with only 292, but the best players were the Progetto 46, who got 1,072. The T77 managed 880, and so did the Kunstpanzer on the enemy team. He only fired 9 rounds out of the game, so he used less than half his ammo. He got 3 direct hits on the enemy and 1 penetration. I'm pretty certain the penetration was that Udes because it was a very brutal kill. 525 hit points, 1 shot, right into them. I mean, you can understand that the Bombardiers, they were very low on hit points when he did hit them, but that Udes was really pulverized. The shell must have come in almost vertically, went straight through his armor, and that was the end of him. He also got 7 splashes on the enemy as well, 1,854 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy, both penetrations, both came from the Progetto, the best player on the enemy team, and he was out the game. 6 enemy vehicles were damaged, 3 were killed, 330 hit points of stun assist off 5 stuns. He earned 23,481 credits on a premium count, but after ammunition resupply, repair and consumables, he actually ended up with a loss of 27,074 credits for the game. 438 XP and no multiplier, so that's all the experience points he took away. So in this game, unfortunately, it didn't go Bob's way, but I'm sure that he will try again and probably come up with something better. But at least he got the blind kill on those 2 tanks. He aimed the shot at the corner. He realized he knew where they were, and he didn't actually check from above. That's not normally what I would do when I'm aiming at 2 tanks sitting around the corner and they're blind to me. I will actually go ahead, over above, the strategic view as they call it, instead of actually looking through Battle Assistant, and try and line the shot up so that the shell will land just on the corner, right, so it does catch whoever's around the other side. And otherwise, if you don't line it up properly, the shell might actually go too long, and if it goes too long, you probably won't do any damage whatsoever. But other than that, he lined it up and it worked. He got it perfect and it hit the target. Okay, so if you enjoyed that replay, please give this video a like, do subscribe to our channel, leave a little comment down below because it feeds the algorithm, and thank you for watching.